everyone, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. It is Monday, March the 7th. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, Canada. And I come live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to showcase Stampin' Up! Products. And this week, it'll be Monday and Friday. I'll try to sneak on sometime on Wednesday, but I'm not 100% sure. Just a couple of things before we start. Stampin' Up! Does have a special on right now. And the mini cut and emboss machine is 20% off, and I'm going to actually use it today. It's very handy. And then some of the bundles that have dies that work with the mini emboss and cut machine are also on special for 20% off. So there's some awesome ones, many that I have and have used quite a bit. So just to let you know, those are available 20% off in my store, my online store, mariannecowan.com. Hey, Phyllis. And also Beyond the Horizon is the next paper pumpkin kit. You would need to register by March the 10th is the last day to register. And this one is their anniversary once a year. Their birthday, I guess, not anniversary, or anniversary. And they always include something special. This time it's an extra stamp set that has floral images. And in the kit, it coordinates with the Beyond the Horizon stamp set and dies that some of you may have. And it's really looks cool. I've seen some sneak peeks of it. It looks really fun. So for this week, we are going to be today and Friday and Wednesday, if I can pop on. We're going to be working with two different stamp sets primarily. And today we'll be working with the Pansy Petals paper, which I showed you on Friday, and we actually didn't use it on Friday. But we're using it today. And I was telling you that I was looking for some gingham paper because we used to have a little 6x6 pack of gingham paper, but the Pansy Petals has soft succulent, fresh freesia, and pale papaya in spring type ginghams. So we're going to be using those today. And the two stamp sets that we're going to be using are Flowering Rain Boots and Home and Garden. And I love both of these sets. I'm a big gardener, and so it just spoke to me. And this one has some great Father's Day sentiments as well. So we're going to be using elements from both of these. The scale, you have to kind of be careful because it's not always ideal between the two sets. Obviously, it's ideal from set to set, or each set individually, but there's lots of ways we can make it work. And then the coordinating dies for the garden dies and the rain boot dies are completely ridiculously fun. And I'll show you what I did. You either have to like this type of card creation or not. It might be a bit much for some people, but I find it totally fun. It's like playing with paper dolls. So here's what I did the other day. I just went ahead and stamped out a bunch of pots, stamped and cut grass in two different colors, all kinds of tulips. For Friday's Friday's Fun Fold, I have a really cute idea for kind of like a little greenhouse. And then there are these flowers that I went ahead and cut and stamped and cut in different colors. Hello, Diane and Pat and Monique. Then we have rain boots, and this stamp set is so realistic. It's crazy. I just love it. My green ink pad was a little bit juicy. So there we've got some different colors of rain boots. And the watering can. So you'll see what I mean about scale. So the watering can probably wouldn't be almost as big as a ladder, but you just use it strategically. And then I was trying the ladder in a variety of different things. So just basic white, gray, 2 different shades of gray, and then some of our wood grain paper to make it look like a little wooden fence or wooden ladder. So that was fun. And then there's all these little elements that I'll show you as we go through. It's just so fun. There is a rake and a shovel, little gardening gloves, a spade, and oh yeah, garden shears. Mine have red handles, that's why they ended up red. And lots of other fun elements. So we're going to make 3 cards today. I think we'll have time to do 3. And I already have set aside the stuff I'm going to be using today, but here's how I like to do it when I am creating, so I can just pull stuff up if I need it. All right, before we start, I'm going to show you a little trick, and I'm going to use the little mini Stamp and Cut emboss machine. It's very portable, it folds up, and it's very easy to use. So I'm using plate 1 and plate 2. The only thing you really have to remember about this is not to have all your sandwich exactly the same. You need to have it offset a little bit so it feeds in easier. I find that for all of any Big Shot machine you're using. All right, so I'm going to show you how I made it look like the handles of my little tools looked like they were wood grain. So here they are, just cut out of cardstock. This is smoky slate, I think. I did cut them out with a darker shade as well. I did all kinds of different things. So here's how I'm going to make the wooden handles. So I'm just going to take the little die cuts, line them up. So I want them to kind of be with the wood grain. Not that anyone would ever notice, but I would. Then I'm going to put this in. Make sure it's just kind of offset. This is a great little machine just to have on your desk. So you can just leave it over to the side and then just use it when you need it. So simple. All right, so we have one little handle, our next little handle. I'll put these up here so I don't lose them. And that's as much demoing as I'm doing with the Big Shot. And then you just take it and fold it back up and put it to the side. I have a little trolley right beside my desk, so I leave it there. Although my desk, it's a table, it's pretty big. So then what I would do, just gonna bring this out so I don't get glue on my backdrop here. Oopsie. I just kind of cut it where I think the handle might end. And then I'm going to take my my spade and my trowel, I think. A little bit of glue goes a long way. You don't need a lot. Then I'm going to lay that right on top. And I'll show you one other step. Oops, I usually do it on the paper. That is completely fun as well. And I'll do it in this one because it's a little bit easier. This is the 1/16 punch that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. So I'm just going to take it, put a little hole. And in my tool shed, I have string on my tools so that I can hang them. So I just take that, add some linen thread, which fits through perfectly. Might need a fresh cut. I did try it just poking it with scissors and it was problematic. I'll leave it a little bit longer. I am just going to cut a little knot. I don't know, I just think it looks so cute. And there you have your little spade, shovel, trowel, whatever you want to call it. It's not a trowel. Now there's another element that they have. So they have another die cut, so you can just cut out the little shovel part. And I had some, you might have it in your stash. It used to be, it was galvanized foil instead of bright silver. So I had a little bit left over. How cute is that? I think it's adorable. So we're only going to do one of those, you'd be glad to know, but it is fun. And there we have our little, kind of got slid over. All right, let's get started. Our first card, we're going to use the soft succulent and the rain boots. And I'll show you a couple little tips and tricks for using the different elements. So we're going to do rain boots, we're going to do a watering can, and then just some pots, I think is what we're doing today. I took Pool Party and my blending brush. I just want to add a little bit of color so it's not completely white. And it seems like not a lot, but you really can tell the difference. There, that's enough. And we might do it to one of the other ones, or I might forget. But just so you know, that's just one way to add a special little element. Now I've gone ahead and cut out the boots, stamped and cut the boots. There is a die cut. And then what I did is I cut a little slit along here and a messy slit along here. And when I did it the second time, I used an X-Acto knife and it was way better. I was trying to do this just by poking through with scissors, but I want the effect of these coming out of the boots. So here's what they look like when you die cut them. So for this one, I'm going to cut them apart. And I am going to cut this down a little bit closer to the edge. Makes it easier to put in. And same with these ones. So this is going to slide right in here. And this one is going to slide like that. I'm going to turn this over because I want this little piece to line up. So I'm going to put a dimensional right there to hold it exactly where I want it. Let's go ahead and put this one back in and do the same thing. So that's going to hold it from the back, so you don't really need to worry about it now. All right. So there we have our boots. Let's go ahead and put this part together. So I'm just layering these up. So again, this is the Pansy Petals paper. You may have some of that gingham left in your stash. It came in 6 colors. It was really pretty. Very Easter and springy. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I don't remember. So this is going to go here. Let's go ahead and pop this up so we kind of get an idea of where our scene is going to go. It's got me thinking of spring. I do have some ranunculus down under, I moved them under the grow lights, and they have sprouted. They have a really good root system on them. And I think in about 2 weeks I'll be able to put them in the greenhouse because they are cool flowers. Now, I don't have any sentiments on these cards, but I could add one maybe. So this is what the tulips look like. So there's tulips and then there's the other ones that look more like daisies. Now, it is designed when this is all together that you can just sit it right on top. But because I cut it apart, I'm going to cut this apart as well. And we'll put them on separately. I am going to use glue dots, I think. I could pop them up, and I've lost my little poker thing. We'll see if this is going to work. So you can see how, oops, there is one stalk for each of the flowers. So I'm trying to line it up. Okay, that worked. And then we've got our two, which I'm going to try a dimensional. There we go. And then I think there's this other little cute little seed packet. So I think I'll just put that and maybe this little mini rake. I'm going to put this so it looks like it's leaning up against the boots. And this one just like that. So I'm going to take a glue dot. Pokey tool number 2, because I want to roll it. So I'm just going to put that right there. All right, so there's our first cute little spring card featuring the rain boots, our little trowel, and tulips. And obviously you can color them any colors that you want. So our next card is going to use the watering can. So same basic design. Let's go ahead and just glue all these layers together. It's making me happy. I can't have tulips yet, but I can make them. The deer actually eat our tulips, so I do have a lot in our raised beds just for cutting, but I mostly plant daffodils because the deer don't like the daffodils. And I do have about 300. I think I planted at least 300 daffodil bulbs last year. So I'm just quickly going in and adding a little bit of color. And I know you're supposed to do it at the edge first, but it's really going to be under the image, so I think it'll be okay. Then let's go ahead and pop this up, just using all these little edge pieces. They're very handy. Is anyone else in their craft room today? We've had weird weather today. I looked out earlier and it looked like it was sleeting almost. Then we've got our watering can. I'm going to put it a little bit to the side. I'm going to pop it up as well. No, I'm going to put it flat and then pop up the flowers. So for this one, you'll see that again, it's not exactly perfect for this. So let's trim it off. And you can see the difference. I should have done a little slit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors. Luckily I didn't glue it all the way. Just going to cut it like that. It just makes it look more realistic, that the flowers are actually in the watering can. There we go. And I'm going to glue this down because I'm going to pop up the flowers. So slide it in again. And again, we're only using the first little section of the flowers. So we'll just cut them off. Whoopsie. And I do want to pop these up. I think maybe the mini dimensionals will work the best. So we're going to make one card with each of the different colors of gingham. Oh, you're planting your tomatoes. I haven't started anything else yet. Okay, so I'm trying to aim it so that we have a flower on each of the stalks. Add some Wink of Stella to this one. This is a new Wink of Stella, so it's quite a bit heavier. Okay, next I'm going to put a little bow here. You could also put the bow around the flowers. I'm going to keep these because this and this we could use for other things, but I'm not going to right now. I'm going to take a little pot and I'm going to go like this and cut a little edge out of it. So I could put this down here as well, but I'm going to put some little tools. So let's put the seed packet. So like I want it to look like it's on the ground carrying these little tools. So put that and maybe this. I'm going to do the opposite. This is taller, and I don't want it to go off the page. There. I'm actually going to flip this over and do the same thing with a dimensional. So I've got one dimensional there. And another one here. So they're going to hold these things in place for me. I haven't done any vegetables, but I know I can start lettuce and spinach probably out in the greenhouse soon. Okay. So there's our second one with the watering can, a little pot, flower seed, and our little garden mini rake. So that's the second card. And the last one that we're going to do, oh, I do have, for this one I do have genial gems, which match perfectly. That makes it look pretty. And the last one is fresh freesia. Just getting all these other things out of the way. So for fresh freesia, exact same design. Really, I'm just playing with all the elements on the front of the card, just to show you different ways to use them instead of just flowers in a pot. And there are some other stamp sets and die cuts that will coordinate with this as well. The Bloom Where You're Planted paper has that one page of all the pots on it, which we'll use another day. And then it also, Soft Succulent has one as well. Now I did the sentiment already here, so I'm just going to do a little bit of blue. Doesn't matter if it goes over. Live life in full bloom. I love it. Okay, that's all together. Now, the way we're going to do this one is we have 3 pots, And I'm going to cut into them like I did before. And we're going to make it look like the pots are stacked one on top of the other, like you would do out in your greenhouse. And we don't need to do that one. So we have our first one, then we just slide this in, and I want to offset it a little bit, so we have our second one. And then we have our third one. So I'm trying to put my dimensional so it's holding all these little pieces closed, and so you can't see it. So I want to just add a little glue dot there, really just to hold this down. Okay, so the bottom one obviously has to be straight. And this is, you can put leaves on if you want, but I'm just going to put the flowers right on top of the pot. Let's go ahead and put this down. I'm going to add one more dimensional up at the top. And then we'll add this with dimensionals. Now it's going to be sitting on the pot, so I'm going to put the dimensionals towards the top. I did try doing this in black, and I thought I could do it like daisies, but it didn't really work because of the way the stamp is designed. And then I was just gonna put these little ones down on the bottom, but I may put this little guy instead, and maybe we'll get some gardening gloves. So we could have some gardening gloves and a little pot. That would be cute. Let's do those on a bit of an angle. And where are my minis? All right, so now we've got our little spade. Live life in full bloom. And for this one, we are going to use iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. These really pick up whatever color you put with them. These ones are kind of big. I'm going to go with medium and small. Okay. So iridescent. And let's go ahead and pop this up just because we can. I thought about putting a little pot on the bottom and having the tools come out of it as well, but I think this is cute. And I could have also done a little bit of green brushing down here. But I mean, there's so many things you could do. But you can see how you can also add leaves to this and have it come out of a pot. I'd probably use the bigger set of leaves, but you can also do that. We'll save those for another day. Okay. You could also add a little bow up here. We already have the linen thread down here, so I think I'll leave it off for now. And let's review our cards. So we have Fresh Freesia. And again, this is the Home and Garden and Flowering Rain Boots. These are in the mini catalog. And then the garden dies and the rain boot dies. I just love them. Then we have our Pale Papaya. and our soft succulent, which I forgot to put little gems on. There we go. Fun. Hopefully it makes you think of spring. I did notice on the calendar that the clocks change on Sunday. That made me so excited. So spring is only I think it's only 2 weeks from today. That makes me happy. And this makes me happy. I think I'll add Wink of Stella to the rest of the flowers. So thank you for watching me today. I do appreciate it if you like or share my video. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you will know when I go live. So we're going to be working with this again on Friday. I have a great idea for something fun, something springy, and Friday, as we know, is Fun Folds. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just checking the comments. Oh, thanks, Sylvia. Thanks, Pat. I thought they were cute. And it's fun. I think this would make a really beautiful set if you put 4 of these together and put them in a little acetate box and gave them to someone as a present. Nice little spring card set. All right, that's it for me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.